Let us look at the kind of soil in Soul Forest that we are using for our plantations. You will struggle to say, hey, where is soil? It is all gravel. Okay, fine, I'll try to pull some more soil. Okay. So, this is an example of what kind of soil it is. Sandy, gravel soil is what we largely have. Now, the challenge with this kind of soil is it has very less soil organic carbon. What is the meaning of soil organic carbon? In our human body, in blood, there is something called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin normally, doctors advise that it should be at least 10% and more for us to be called as healthy people, right? In soil, there is something called soil organic carbon, which is a measure of soil health, you can say in simple terms. Like it's like a percentage of hemoglobin in soil. Now, that it should be like minimum should be 2% plus. Ideally 3 or 4 is like great, but 2% plus is like minimum. These soils have soil organic carbon around 0.1, 0.2%. Means what? Almost 10% of what ideally should be there. So just a tiny fraction of what ideally should be there. So these are significantly degraded soils. In such degraded soils, how can we create a biodiverse ecosystem? We need to do some right interventions to be able to enrich the soil. Come, I'll show you what kind of interventions we are doing to be able to enrich that. So here you see there is black soil from the nearby lake, which lake bed as a part of desilting that got added to this. Now this has more soil organic carbon, and this soil organic carbon, when it is added into the soil, slowly starts enhancing its soil organic carbon. That is not the only thing, that is one of the many things that we do. Here you see there are two plantation rows or arcs, right, as we call it in our soul forest. Between these two arcs, we have this space. In this space, we have done shallow tilling, and we are going to bring something called intercrops. Intercrops means generally these are crops which are not the main crops. Our main work here is around plantations, and to enrich this area which is currently idle, we are putting some plants. What kind of crops are we going to grow here? Crops which will enhance the soil organic carbon. The objective is that. The objective is to enhance the soil organic carbon. As we are enhancing the soil organic carbon, if we can also take some produce, it is good, right? So what we are growing here is generally leguminous plants. It could be dals, sun hemp, sesbania. So there are these varieties of leguminous plants which generally fix nitrogen into the soil, and for example, dals we can also consume, right? So we will plant them here. Now that monsoon is around the corner, we are going to plant these leguminous plants, and soon the plants will grow. We will harvest wherever there is something humanly edible, and then the plant which has carbon, as the plant grows, that plant will be plowed back into the soil. When you plow a plant back into the soil, essentially the carbon which is there in the plant is going back into the soil. So when this happens over a period of time, there is no silver bullet. It will not happen suddenly in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Over a period of time, from a soil organic carbon of 0.2, it will become 0.4, 0.6, gradually. And then it will get to, I'm sure, all of us will see a day where here the land, the soil will have soil organic carbon upwards of 2, 3, 4%, and that means the soil really is rich. When the soil is rich, plants are healthy. And when plants are healthy, and when all these small grasses, all these start growing, gradually you will notice a lot more biodiversity finding its way into this land. Nature is the greatest teacher.